Ross? Is that you?
Oh,
Is that Terrence Ross's cousin?
of course it is, man. I was just talking to him, man, about that dunk contest last night.
He's got to come back and save it. Zinzi, you could have VIP, but what the fuck are you going to watch, bro? There's nothing in the background. The podcast is free to watch, Zinzi. You don't need League Pass. Okay, fine. We'll give it to you ahead. Let me just take it from someone else. Let's see. I'll take it from Shafino. You snatched Shafino's chain. Let's do this thing, Laker Nation, Allan Nation.
Yeah, let's get going. Like I said, for today's podcast, we'll be talking about LeBron James versus Dalton Knecht, predicting the Lakers All-Star post record. Like I said, we have around 30 games left, so we got 30 games to get into the playoffs and get a 4th seed and higher. And after that, we'll be going to some news about Cam Reddish cooking a couple players on his current Lakers roster 1v1, and of course another former player, which we'll get into in a bit. And also, like I said, some chat questions, super chats, feel free to drop them below. We always prioritize them, and we'll get to that and also much more. And as mentioned, we will be streaming the All-Star game. Stay tuned for that in a couple of hours, around like 3 or so, or at least 5 o'clock Pacific time or 8 o'clock Eastern time, or was it like 6 Central? So yeah, stay in here for that. At least for you, both Jake and Earl, how y'all doing?
Man, I'm doing good, Allan. Appreciate you, man. As you said, All-Star game is tonight. It's 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. We will be here. What's up, Reeves Muse, one of our subscribers? Shout out Reeves Muse in here. We have had some really fun streams recently. Definitely a different crowd for the All-Star weekend stuff on here than like Lakers games typically. But a lot of our loyal people have stayed. We appreciate that. It's been a ton of fun. Yeah, excited to talk about the Lakers. I think that the Lakers have kind of got lost in discourse the last few days. Not that it matters, but just taking a break from with the All-Star stuff. It's kind of like people are kind of forgetting now that Luka's on the team, that we could potentially finish as one of the top seeds. And, you know, everything with the Mark Williams trade, like, yeah, it's not looking like we're going to have a great center the rest of the year, 100%. That could come back to bite us. But if Luka can play like prime Luka and LeBron can play like prime Bron in the playoffs, like, I still think that team will have a chance. And I was with you guys now, like last playoffs, for example, where we tried to be super optimistic, say we're going to beat Denver. It was the second time around, obviously, us facing them. And we didn't even get close. But this year, the optimism is a lot higher, I would say, regardless. And that's kind of the Luka effect here. Hayes Muse in the chat. What's up, Hayes Muse? How you doing? Earl, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I feel like there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, as Allan said, we have like after All-Star predictions, what's our record going to be? Going into All-Star weekend, I'm excited about Dalton Knecht and Bron. I mean, personally, I think the young guys are going to get absolutely torched. I mean, we're talking about them versus Team USA plus extra all NBA players on like the current NBA league right now. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be fun regardless. So I'm looking forward to that. A lot of stuff to talk about. I agree. I had a conversation. Shout out to the Muse Avengers. We had a conversation about this in the DMs, but I am excited for Luka because we have not seen Luka yet. The Luka we've seen right now is post injury. He hasn't played since December, and I think once he gets his footing, his grounding in, and he really starts being that aggressive ball handler and shot taker that we know him to be, a lot of Lakers fans are going to start falling in love with his game, and we'll honestly start getting back on track as far as like winning games and competing. Center rotation, not gonna lie, it's cooked. I really don't have any. I don't even know any updates about Jackson Hayes. I'm assuming he'll probably be fine the time we play again. I don't know, but I mean, there's not much we can do about that. I agree with Jake. We just gotta lock in, man. As long as we have healthy Bron, healthy Luka, Austin Reeves as well, I believe we'll be able to make it, do what we can, and then whatever we can't do this season, we'll fixing the offseason. So I'm looking at this season as extra credit. I still think we can compete, and we'll just see how far we go.
I see you pull up Lisa picture, Jake. We thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just pulling up kind of the Questor 18 podcast account here just to kind of remind people again. So this is an account that I'm definitely going to focus on growing coming up. You know, it's been very busy with a lot of different things, but a very good Twitter account right here run by Earl and Allan for this podcast. Go drop a follow to this Twitter account. It's obviously for this show, has information about playback, but also just a lot of good Lakers content. Like, not every post goes completely viral, but you can see it's very on the nose with what's going on. You got the Mac McClung dunk when he was on the Lakers. We kind of keep up with literally every event that's going on around the NBA. So really good Twitter account here that Earl and Allan do. Very important in the Lakers community, in my opinion. So should be, you know, an instant follow for all the Laker fans out there, just to remind people. And again, on that note, and something we'll probably touch on later, but we've talked about this a few times now. Dalton Knecht is playing against LeBron in the All-Star game. I don't know how or why. This has never happened before in the NBA, but if you don't know, one of the Rising Stars teams who won the little Rising Stars tournament Friday plays an all-star team. So we are seeing Knecht versus LeBron, and basically he goes on to say that he definitely wants to make a statement there. So shout out Dalton, and yeah, go follow that Twitter account.
Yeah, from my computer crashed a bit, so I won't be able to pull up stuff. But like you said, the Lakers, I do have some 30 games, if possible, if one of you guys could pull up the Lakers schedule for the rest of the season. Yeah, like I said, the Lakers are going on a course. They're on the 4th seed. They have potential to reach possibly the 2nd or 3rd, depending on the amount of games. For probably like a game or maybe 2 behind Denver, and of course some other stuff. And but like I said, the focus tonight: LeBron James, Dalton Knecht. Who do you guys think will be at least the best player on the court? We think LeBron James will be trying. Like I said, we saw a report from David Mangan. He's arriving Saturday night, and he's probably there right now. But I'm pretty sure his focus, and pretty sure majority of players' focuses is on the second half of the season. So we get thoughts on LeBron James versus Dalton Knecht, and at least LeBron's mindset heading to the All-Star game.
Go, Earl. Come on.
All right, bet. My thoughts, honestly, on LeBron, I think they're locked in. I've been watching a lot of All-Star interviews, and it seems like the theme is not exactly that the young guys don't belong there, but it should be a humbling experience. I mean, I heard Steph Curry talk about it, about how they're going to get a rude awakening playing them, and I know they're coming off like a high, winning that game and getting 2 All-Star Saturday or Sunday night, but it's not going to be what they think. So I think the guys are going out there to play. I mean, I even heard Jaren Jackson say he's playing full court the whole game. So I think guys are actually locked into this year's format. Hopefully, I think it's a little bit different because obviously it's a target score. Like, you're going to 40. So it gives guys a sense of, hey, this is exactly where we're going to be. I feel like the target score makes it a little bit easier for guys to lock into those type of matchups. So I think it's going to be fun. LeBron James, I think he might try to go for MVP. I mean, we heard that quote come out that this could be his last couple All-Stars and that every moment is special to him now moving forward. So, I mean, when Bron comes out with quotes like that, I kind of expect him to go out there and perform somewhat. And the whole like coming to All-Star Saturday thing, like it's really not that new. I mean, he's been doing that for the last couple All-Stars where he kind of shows up a little bit late, just enough time to get there to play in that last game. Not really there for Saturday night events and stuff like that. He's strictly there for Sunday and to like chill with the guys in the locker room and talk with them, have fun for that Sunday evening or Sunday just day of activities. So, yeah, to be expected for Bron. I'm excited to see what goes down. I'm really excited to see Dalton Knecht because I mean, we've seen aggressive Dalton Knecht that first game. I can only imagine he wants to switch on Bron just to kind of run those ones, as we'll talk about. I know Allan brought up Cam Reddish's 1v1s. I'm definitely curious to see how aggressive Dalton Knecht is if LeBron is switched on to him, and vice versa, how LeBron is towards Dalton Knecht. Because we know, I mean, LeBron does have his habit of having the welcome to the league rookie moments. I mean, we've seen, who was it a couple years ago, got hit by that super hard screen, and LeBron made that funny face. Like, LeBron is known for his welcome to the league moments, and this time he gets a chance to do it to his rookie playing for opposite teams. So I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah, Earl, you're definitely right. I think it's so interesting because it's that whole narrative that like LeBron gets his teammates traded. And look, LeBron's not the GM. It's not his fault that Dalton got traded. That does have to come down to Rob Pelinka. But in a sense, the narratives kind of have a point because if you didn't have LeBron and Luka, you're not trading your rookie, who's actually a pretty good rookie, definitely one of the best this year in a weak draft class. You're not trading that person for an injured center who's, the same age. And honestly, like Dalton, he may not be everyone's favorite, but he has a certain competitiveness and spirit to him where I could totally see him destroying LeBron for this. He knows that it's LeBron's team at the end of the day. And like looking back at it for us Lakers fans, like it was never AD's team as much as people said they wanted it to be. Like clearly now we understand like LeBron is the governor, the GM, and this is not disrespect, but he's the governor, GM, coach, star player, face of the franchise, face of the NBA. He's everything. He's probably the greatest basketball player of all time, if not the greatest athlete of all time, at least in the US. So for this type of matchup, though, I just don't think we should underestimate Dalton Knecht. With all that being said, like he is someone who can score, he can shoot, he can dunk on people. Whatever his defensive flaws, in a game like this where the defense is already limited and you don't need to be a lockdown defender to be out there, he's pretty ideal for someone like this. Now, a game like this. Now, he didn't take a ton of shots in Rising Stars, but his stats with such limited shots and only going to 40 and then 25 in the target score was actually very impressive. Like, I would say he's worse than Stephon Castle, for example. He's probably worse than Keontae George at basketball. But aside from those two, he did kind of seem like one of the standouts and one of the best players in the Rising Stars tournament. And now that he gets to be on this stage, like he does want to prove people wrong. He also just got traded and now he's not playing for the Lakers on the front of the jersey. He's kind of just playing for himself. And I think that works with people whose personalities are like that. Like they are motivated just to prove people wrong. I think he is like that. Now, I wish he would just go do that on the Lakers the rest of the season. We'll see. But I think tonight, don't be surprised if he goes off. And any team can win in this format. I don't care. Last year, the G League team, so none of the Rising Stars teams played the All-Star team last year. This is new. But the G League team was in the Rising Stars tournament, and they won last year. And this year, the G League team also made the finals before losing the Connects team. So the G League guys come in very hungry in these matchups, and they honestly have a great chance at winning. And I kind of see this the same way as now the Rising Stars team will come in very hungry against the All-Stars. And if the All-Stars, like that OGs team we're talking about, kind of bullshits around too much, whether it's Curry like shooting from half court or Bron trying a pass that he knows probably won't work to put on a show, or guys missing dunks because they're trying to be fancy, all of a sudden the Rising Stars team, who's going to play more boring and grounded, can come out of that short target score game and win. And I just wouldn't count it out. I don't personally think it's good for the NBA if the Rising Stars team walks through two All-Star teams and wins this thing. That would be kind of weird in my opinion. I understand that the underdog story is cool, but I feel like whoever wins the All-Star game should probably be NBA All-Stars. So we'll see what the score is. But I think it's definitely a very exciting matchup there. I mean, not even to mention, like, Connect's team has Zach Edey. There's no one on the All-Star team who can hold Zach Edey because he's just a complete matchup problem. I'm trying to think, like, who's on the OGs, who's a center? I don't know. Allan, do you know? Like, what center do they have?
We don't have a center after AD got replaced.
Oh, there's no center after AD got replaced. So, yeah, I don't understand who's going to guard like 7'5" Zach Edey, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, there's also concern as well. Like, I believe there's like a $1 million to at least near $1.5 million cash prize. So, like I said, the younger team are going to be more hungry than the older guys. I imagine they're kind of going the route of similar to the NBA in-season tournament, where it's like there's a cash prize, and obviously the players want to pay for the cash prize. But like I said, the younger guys are going to need it more than the older veterans who, of course, establish their names in the league and obviously have the sponsorships and etc. But I think this format should be competitive and highly uplifting for the All-Star game, but it's not a drastic change to how we view this All-Star weekend.
Yeah, Reeves Muse said, I can't wait to watch the game. I agree. I think the last few, like, to be totally fair for the NBA, I understand that this new style seems like wacky, to be fair, but no one was watching the last few games, and people complained about the competitiveness, which I think is a fair complaint. So in fairness to the NBA, like, I feel like people actually are going to be tuned in tonight to see what it looks like at the minimum. So they kind of are getting eyeballs back with this. We'll see what the ratings are, but I just personally feel like they are going to get some people to watch who are just confused how this works and want to kind of see what it looks like when Rising Stars plays, you know, LeBron and them.
Yeah, another thing I do want to at least focus about, at least within this LeBron James Dalton Knecht matchup, is Dalton Knecht sees more motivation and just like his gameplay. Like he's getting nearly 5+ points a game. He's knocking out 3-pointers. He looks super happy to be on the court. And do you think that'll translate to the Lakers roster?
Great question. It definitely needs to, because otherwise he'll definitely be off the team this summer. I think we all know that. I worry about people's personalities in this sport, and no one really talks about that, right? They look at the talent, but they don't look at the personality. They don't look at the work ethic enough. And I think that's why someone like Dalton Knecht, who should have been pick 6, becomes pick 16 or 17, whatever. I think it was 17 we had. So it's like people do, and again, that's a good pick for the Lakers. He obviously fell all the way down, but people overlook the personality side, the mental side, and the work ethic of some of these guys. And I question if Dalton Knecht feels good about the current situation coming back to the Lakers. Like when he gets there back after this All-Star break, hopefully someone is in his ear, an older player or a mentor saying, you know, you got to be positive. You got to be optimistic and earn your spot in this rotation and go have fun. Like you're on a team that's going to make the playoffs and has a shot to compete. That's what I hope happens. And when you say, you know, will it translate, Allan? Like, yeah, we all hope it will. But a part of me is concerned that this type of situation he's in right now, this weekend, is very freeing. And when he gets back to the Lakers, he won't feel like he can play free. And he'll feel like if he, you know, kind of be scared to make a mistake because you'll get subbed out by JJ. And that's all like fair. And it's way more serious than the All-Star game. But I worry that he actually can't handle it. So hopefully he proves me wrong. But I'm not sold that he can handle the spotlight of the Lakers when the Lakers are a team trying to compete for a championship.
Yeah, I agree. I think like time definitely will tell. I am happy that all the distraction of the Mark Williams trade media is kind of out the water, so we can kind of go back to focusing on basketball itself and moving on. I did see some good quotes from Dalton Knecht, talking about how he had to process his emotions and stuff like that. And when you put it into perspective about, you know, players he's got to play with and who he was traded for and stuff like that, he's grateful that he gets to play with first AD and Bron and now Luka and Bron. So yeah, I hope he just takes the opportunity to grow as a player. And I agree with Jake, like it's not easy being a Laker. He's in a unique spot as a rookie. Like you're put into the fire to perform. Like and on top of that, he's 24. He's not the traditional 18-year-old rookie. So we as fans, I'm sure the Lakers organization expect a little bit more from him from a professional level, from a level of like just play overall on the floor as well. And he's just gonna have to earn those minutes. Like he's gonna have opportunities this season to go out there and perform big for us. And he's gonna have to show that he can do that. Like he's playing with Luka and Bron, so the pressure on him is small. Like when you have Luka and Bron on the floor, plus like let's just say, I mean, you know how JJ is, so I'll assume that there would be one time where it'll be Luka, Bron, Reeves, and Dalton on the floor, even though we don't want that because the defense will be horrible. In a lineup like that, you're going to be the guy who's the most open. All you have to do is literally hit the shot easily. Like what you were doing in Tennessee, be that catch and shoot guy, a guy who can go get a tough clutch bucket. The pressure is easy for you in those situations because most of your possessions are going to be easy, wide open shots. So it's up to Dalton Knecht to kind of lock in and make those opportunities count for us. Like we've seen him do it before. Like this is the same Dalton Knecht who went out there and dropped 30+ points in the game and got us a win. This is the same Dalton Knecht who hit like 4 or 5 shots in a row without missing in a quarter to bring us back in a game where we were down. Like he has the mentality, he has moments, but he has to do that consistently. So that's all I ask from him. Just be consistent. Defense, we know he's not a great defender, but at least try. Fight over those screens. Play a little bit more aggressive. Like same thing I talk about Reeves. We mentioned is he a great defender? Not at all. But one thing I respect about Reeves is he tries. Like he goes out there, he tries to fight over the screens. He tries to stay in those different pick and roll actions. Like he's there. He's active. Sometimes we see Dalton Knecht give up on a play, and we can't have that. If you're gonna be on the floor, one, if you're not scoring, and then plus you're not playing defense, you're a negative asset. You have to be doing something out there on the floor. So I just say don't connect, just lock in. You're going to have your opportunities. JJ Redick is going to put you in these games. So it's just about, like Jake said, can you handle that pressure? I don't know if he can consistently, especially in big games like the playoffs. But I'm hopeful that he can take on that challenge, turn a new leaf after this trade stuff is over, and really just start his season from zero now.
Yeah, Earl, I agree with you. The quote that Earl mentioned that I'm kind of just now seeing on the timeline, but he said it 2 days ago, was Dalton Knecht on the canceled trade to the Hornets. It's strange. I'm one of the few people that's ever been traded and then come back. I had LeBron and AD. Now I'm with Luka and LeBron. So it's crazy. I get to learn from a lot of greats. And see, that's an encouraging quote right there, because he kind of did hit on how weird the situation was, but also saying that he's basically saying he's lucky that he gets to play with some of these greats. And I hope he learns from LeBron, maybe a little less Luka. I love Luka, obviously. We all do now. But Luka is so talented that he can get away with certain things versus LeBron, who was in the spotlight so much from day one. Like, he couldn't get away with anything. Bron had to just go and be Superman on the court every game, every year, this whole time. Like, there was no getting away with anything. If Bron went to the 2011 finals, for example, and struggled, he's getting absolutely grilled, versus Luka could sometimes take defensive possessions off and people don't really notice. So I hope Dalton learns more from LeBron, for sure, and a little less from AD and Luka. But regardless, I hope he comes back with a positive mentality to the Lakers. And if I'm Bron, like, I'm talking to Knecht, because yes, like JJ and Rob talk to Knecht, but I almost don't trust them when if I was Knecht, I wouldn't trust them because they're the reason I got traded, versus LeBron can explain why this is a business, why everyone says that, why it sucks to be in the position he's in, but it's also a position of opportunity and strength, because if you come out of it with a positive attitude, everyone in the NBA is going to want you on their team because you're a very elite shooting rookie who also now has a good attitude and handled a hard situation well. So it's like the challenges kind of breed an opportunity for Dalton Knecht. So hopefully that's the Knecht we see the rest of the way.
Yeah. Overall, a motivated LeBron James and motivated Dalton Knecht is what we need in the second half. And we're always excited to see how well they will perform. As mentioned, we will be live streaming the All-Star game later at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Central Time, or of course 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live here on Playback on a PlayoffLAL. If you haven't joined, I know we have 3 visitors. I am enjoying this. We always have a great time. We try to entertain. We do our best to just chit chat and just watch games. And as always, be Laker fans and just have overall a great time. So if you haven't join us on here on a PlayoffLAL playback. And like I said, if at least for chat / viewers, if you have any questions, hot takes regarding both the All-Star game or anything else, of course we have a couple of news chats. Feel free to drop some so your Twitter promote as well. We always appreciate your support. And yeah, and also as I mentioned, for users, make sure y'all sub, and also a great way to support. And you get automatic VIP, and you get to watch the streams live with us around here. Going to the schedule, of course, as mentioned, we have our first game after the All-Star break versus Charlotte. We got Portland, Denver, and Dallas. Between those 5 games, at least for both the chat and you guys, what game are you looking forward to the most? And as always, we'll go into the next 25 games and obviously predict the final record for the Lakers. So let's start with the 5 games, and what game are you looking forward to?
Okay, so these first 5 games, honestly, kind of a fun schedule for me. Looking at Charlotte, I mean, we know why that's really a funny game. The whole Mark Williams saga. Who knows? Maybe Mark Williams decides, hey, I want to be a basketball player again, and plays that game versus Charlotte. It has a master class to show Rob Pelinka, hey, you should have kept me or whatever. And maybe Dalton Knecht balls out in the trenches, so he reminds Rob Pelinka never to send him back there again. So I'm looking forward to that game. Portland, they've actually been playing decent basketball. I don't want to say they've been playing great basketball the last couple of weeks. So kind of excited for that game. I mean, they have some really good bigs over there in Klingon and Aiden, who's been having great seasons. So curious to see how Jackson Hayes and Trey Jamison and all those guys kind of match up versus that. I'm a little bit worried for that as far as center matchups. Other than that, I mean, no disrespect, it is Portland. I feel like they have a hard time managing leads towards the end of a game. So I think we can definitely pull that off. I got us winning those first 2 games. And then, of course, it's Denver. I think Denver is like, I don't know, man. At this point, I don't want to say I'm over the whole Denver thing, but it would be nice to kind of just win. I mean, that's like, we talked about that for the last couple of years. Like, hey, Denver, that's the team. Like, if we win it one time, we can get the recipe to kind of just master how to evaluate this team. Obviously, things are different. We have Luka now and LeBron as our duo instead of AD. So I'm curious to see how that will look. We won't have a legitimate answer for Jokic, which worries me a little bit. I mean, Jackson Hayes will be our starter. Then we pull out Trey Jemison for some, I don't know, some aggressiveness. All he's going to do is probably pick up a tech in his first 5 seconds entering the game. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm curious to see how Luka plays on our team versus Denver. Maybe that's the extra kick we've been missing. Dallas is interesting as well because they're dealing with injury problems. I'm not sure if AD will be back by then or not, but I do know Gafford is probably not going to be there, and Lively is probably not going to be there as well. So we'll see what happens with that game. It's going to be fun regardless. I mean, it's Dallas. Luka is going to have absolute masterclass. I'm really expecting him to kind of be back at his game form by that game. I'm sure it's going to be amazing, so I'm not really worried about that. And then, what was that, 4? Last game of this 5, Minnesota. I don't know, man. It's always kind of a toss-up to me for Minnesota. It depends on what version of the team you're gonna get. Sometimes Julius Randle plays absolutely horrible, and sometimes he manages to have a magnet ball versus us. So, if I had to give a prediction on a record throughout that streak, I would probably go 3-2. Respectful 3-2 for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess going back to the original question of like which ones I'm really looking at here. I've seen a few people mention this now actually, but you could say that Portland is a trap game because they've won so many recently. It's also the second night of a back-to-back for us. So I'm not really sure like what that's going to look like against Portland. Dallas, I think we're fine with all the injuries. I'm not going to lie, especially with Luka, like how he's going to play with them, even though this one is in LA, I could see. At Denver, probably a loss, unfortunately. We know the story. I'm going to still be optimistic that day. I'm sure Earl and I will say before the stream that we think we're going to win, and that's fine. But I don't know. It's a little hard to picture us beating Denver in any of the games. Like that's always the scariest game on the schedule in terms of the Lakers, potentially losing because right, almost all of them have been losses for years now when we match up. Besides that, I guess we play the Clippers twice at home. I think we at least go like 1-1 there. So I would say with Charlotte, Portland, Denver, Dallas, Minnesota, I'll stop there. I think 1, 2, 3. I would say like 4-1 in the next 5. And that is me being optimistic. I think 5-0 is possible. And the last few weeks, like when I'd said 5-0, I on Mark's post, our good friend Klutch 23, when he said predict the Lakers record the next 5 games, I said 5-0 and I was right. Like, and then the next week it was like 4-1 or something like that. So we really have won so many games recently. But yeah, you could see the schedule also getting harder because you do have Denver, Minnesota, 2 Clippers, Knicks, Boston, Milwaukee, Denver again down there. I mean, 3 Denver games coming up. Like, yeah, the schedule is getting a lot harder. We all know that. So we'll see what happens, but definitely cautiously optimistic would be the word for the rest of the Lakers season.
Yeah, I'm also at Earl in terms of these 3-2, but I think there's potential for 4-1 just because we have a very good roster. Like I said, we are missing a big, so that could mess up versus like the Denver game and also the Minnesota game. But we have elite guards, we have elite forwards, and just 1 through 4, I feel like is a very solid. At the 5, like I said, we have questions, but we have a solid 1 through 4 rotation, and it's just very contingent on, at least from my opinion, Luka Doncic scoring 20 plus points per game in all of those 5 matchups. I feel like Luka Doncic has to have good games in order for us to win. I feel like the forward play, I think will be good from some LeBron James, Vando, obviously DFS when he's healthy, and obviously Rui Hachimura can bring a good offensive set. Like I said, he could score above 18 plus, maybe 20 here and there. Defense a little shaky, but at least from his offensive side, it'll be enough for the Lakers to possibly win. So I'm not worried about that. But like I said, the guard play will be my focus point. Luka, Austin, Gabe, and whoever is playing at that shooting guard position, where it be Jordan Goodwin or whoever we have, or it be Cam Rush or Dalton Knecht. So the guard play will be my main focus in those 5 games. And if they play exceptionally well enough, I think we can get to 4-1 at best within the first 5 games. And obviously that will play through and it'll be a rhythm moving forward.
Honestly, I agree with that point too. And like, I mean, I know we talked about Dalton Knecht, obviously not the best defender, but there's kind of ways around that. Like in this world we live in where we have a DFS and Vando potentially come off the bench because of Rui starting. Like there's ways you can kind of hide him as long as his offense is pretty consistent. Like if he can have consistent offensive stretches, then he can definitely help us out in that bench production. Is that Bron?
Yeah, Earl,
Bron.
what you're seeing here is literally just happening right now. And it is funny how people watch LeBron's every move. Like this is a video that just dropped where LeBron arrived at the All-Star game literally in the last 30 minutes. This is from like right now. And of course, Candice said the king has arrived. So we got LeBron checking in. He's at the All-Star game. I'm trying to see who I see. See Victor in there. I think Steph is over there. Is that Steph, the short guy?
Yep.
There he is. Steph Curry right there.
Look at that aura, bro. Oh my goodness.
LeBron
this is why he's King James. You see how you see how people just walk up, they just start standing up, man.
And he's got handshakes
with
every star in the league now. So there's Tatum, there's Kyrie right here. LeBron is the one, bro. He's the Michael Jordan of the era of like when he walks.
They bring their kids to see him. Well, come on, bro. I'm just saying, bro. He walks in, he changes it. Look, he said, "Get up."
Who even is that? Oh, Jokic.
That was Jokic.
Derek White, right? Wait, no.
After all that,
that was Towns. Okay, who's that?
That was Tyler Hero.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't even see. Sorry, I'm like very zoomed out because I'm
No,
watching
you're
the
good. You're
playback.
good. I think that's mobile in the back, like if they can take the video. But yeah, this is awesome. And
So
I said
yeah,
it
I
before,
just
like,
kind of wanted to share this because I find it
that's dope.
so funny, like how people watch LeBron's every move, but they're kind of right to do it, right? Like it
Yeah.
reminds you of what it would be if Michael Jordan walked in the room. Like
Yep.
genuinely, like if Michael walked. Speaking of, here's
Hey.
LeBron and MJ at the All-Star game in 2022. I thought they hate each other, but
2 dap ups in 5 seconds. That's a homie.
yeah, they're good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right. Check your noties, Jake. Looks like you got motion.
Yeah, but I'll say like adding on to like the LeBron thing, like I agree. It's like those
Zinzi,
it's like those like things, bro. Like what's it called? Okay, like you know, like those old clips where you see like Allen Iverson and LeBron chilling in the locker room, and you have those moments. Like everybody wants those moments with LeBron. Like he is the Jordan and the AI as far as like culture setter guys like of this generation. Like you want that picture with Bron. You want your kids to be in the locker room, and you want to tell those stories and have Bron around. So I agree. That's pretty cool moments. Like as they should be, and especially first time All Stars. This might be their last chance. Some of these guys, this might be their last All Star, or it might be their last All Star with Bron. So we'll see what happens, bro. Shout out to Bron though for arriving just on time, and they better not put Bron at center tonight, respectfully.
Damn, Jokic called Wembanyama a nerd for reading books before the game.
That's actually funny.
I just saw it. Right, and this is okay. So this is the magic of All-Star Weekend, right? This is a good example. The LeBron video we just showed, I just said Jokic and Wemby interacting and all that, right? It's always a passing of the torch to the younger stars who are now getting the experience being around LeBron, KD, Steph, Jokic, Giannis for sure. It's always this passing of the torch kind of has a similar magic to the way the Olympics look. And it's really like, yes, the games haven't been great recently, and I hope the games are good tonight. But at the same time, like there is still something special about All-Star Weekend with all these players coming together here. In fact, I kind of was getting the idea earlier and wanted to run it by you guys, of course, that similar to hockey where they have different nations facing off now, like US versus Canada and all that. I actually do think the All-Star game could benefit from taking out kind of the complex nature of how it is now and actually trying USA versus world at every All-Star game, because the world team is going to be so great. And in the 90s, you couldn't have said that. In early 2000s, you couldn't have formed the team in that way. But with how international basketball is now, you could argue the world team is going to be better most of the time going forward with Luka, Wemby, Jokic, Giannis, kind of et cetera, right? So I think if they went USA versus world, just one large game, I actually think that would solve a lot of the competition issues, because people feel like they have a lot to prove. Like us, if I'm a USA player, I want to prove that the USA has better basketball than the rest of the world still. It's just like the Olympics. And I think when you look at what made the Olympics great and competitive, you could recreate that even in the All-Star game if you do like a USA versus world game every year. That's what I would do if I was Adam Silver.
Yeah, I agree. I think you said like perfectly. Like we're in the point in time in the NBA world where things are catching up. Like if you have a world team, I mean, you got guys like Shea, you got guys like Jokic, you got guys like Wemby, like all these different guys who are either top players now or will be top players in the next couple of years, can hold it down. I mean, and go head to head with the USA guys, which kind of we're getting a slight sneak peek of that tonight. With the way the roster is set up, obviously some guys are on other teams. Like I think D Mitch is on that international type team Chuck was trying to build, and some other guys as well. But like for the most part, like the NBA is talented. Like we're worldwide now. Like some of the top players, it's not just American players. Like there's people coming from all over the world dominating. I mean, you look at Giannis. Just saying, like, there's a whole bunch of guys out there. So I think it could be definitely an interesting format. I know exactly what hockey you're talking about because I've seen that fight all over my timeline, which was hilarious. Canada versus USA. But yeah, I'm down for it, man. I think it brings more competitive spirit to some of these games, and potentially maybe we get like more of a like how they talked about they wanted to do like a format where we had like the USA Cup games maybe more often, like Worlds versus USA and stuff like that throughout the year. Maybe you just bring that to All-Star Weekend. I don't know. Maybe that's an idea they can use.
Definitely. Of course, going back to these, a little talk about the record. We're guessing at least a final prediction for the Lakers. Where will they finish in the least Western Conference seed? And at least another hot take / prediction: who will they face in the playoffs?
Who we facing, chat? What do y'all think in the chat, by the way? Who do y'all think we're facing, and what do you think the record is? It's 30 games, right, Allan? Or is it a little bit more than that left?
30 games. Yeah, 30
okay,
games
30
left.
exactly. Okay. Record, I think we lose. Oh, I'm going super optimistic. I'm sorry, guys. It's my job here to be delusional. I think for the rest of the year, we only drop 10 more games. I think we're about to see prime Lakers basketball. I think we finish the season 20-10. I think Jackson Hayes. No, I'm not gonna give any Jackson Hayes predictions. I can't hype him up too much. But I've seen flash. Oh, no offense, Jackson Hayes. I'm just saying, like, I've seen flashes. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I've seen flashes of what Jackson Hayes can be with Luka Doncic before he got hurt. I mean, first game he played great. To start that second game before he got hurt, he was playing good as well. And we clearly see what the team looks like with no Jackson Hayes because we got absolutely demolished after that. So I'm excited what basically what I'm trying to say is, like, we haven't seen the best version of Luka yet, and we will. And once Luka kind of gets back to making more of his shots, he becomes more of a threat offensively, and that opens up shots for other guys. Once he goes good on offense, playmaking gets better as well. So yeah, I think we go 20. I think we go 20-10. I think it's possible. I mean, think about all the crazy games we won, even when AD went out. Like games we weren't supposed to win, like Knicks, Celtics, like huge games like that. Like those are the big teams we have left on the schedule. Like we have the Bucks. I think we play the Clippers twice. We play the Nuggets 3 times. We play the Celtics again. Like those are games that we've already proven we can win. So if we can take care of those big ones, or even if we lose those big ones, all that's left is average games we should be able to take care of any night of the week. So I think we've shown flashes of being able to handle things. So yeah, I'm going 20-10. It's my job to be optimistic, so I'm gonna take that stand.
Man, I'm so sorry, chat, and everyone watching, you're not gonna get a different point of view from me. I don't mean to copy Earl at all, but I swear to God, before he said that, the Lakers senses in me tell me 20-10 on the dot. So I am gonna have to stick with that. I was gonna say that before Earl said it. All my life, swear to God. I know it's the exact same. Again, not trying to copy, but I think 20-10 makes a ton of sense. Like, can't you see it now? The ESPN graphic. The Lakers went 20-10 post All-Star break. Does this team have a chance this year or whatever it is? Like, it feels like a very 20-10 post All-Star break stretch. Trying to think what we were after like the Westbrook trade and the Vando and something. I know when Vando got in, when D'Lo, Malik Beasley, we had a good record after the All-Star break as well, or maybe it was after the trade deadline. I forgot exactly what it was, but I do think it's going to be 20-10, which means how many wins do we have now? 32, I think. So we'll have
32.
Okay, so 52 wins. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun stretch post All-Star break. And, we'll see. Could always be wrong here. But I think when you ask, like, who we're going to face, Allan, I'm probably leaning towards the Rockets. And I think the problem with that is if we're 4 and the Rockets are 5, then in the second round we play the Thunder. And in the third round, we play the Nuggets. So it does make it very hard, but like we'll get past the first round Rockets. So I have us being the 4 seed playing the Rockets, unless Denver can like drop off and they're a little worse than 20-10. We'll probably be the 4 seed, play the Rockets at 5, win that, and then who knows, but we'll probably be playing the Thunder. And then Hayes Muse said under or over 30 losses. How many losses do we have right now? 20? Allan, is it 20 losses right now?
Yeah, 20. Yeah, I got 20.
Well, Earl and I both said 10 more losses. So when you say over or under, we're actually right there. I mean, I predict we have 30 losses, Hayes Muse.
Yeah, with 30 games, I'm just going to lean / guess we finish as a 3rd seed. And then we end up playing, just based on the current seedings, I'm going to guess and say we play the LA Clippers. First round in the playoffs. I think they finish as a 6th seed. They'll have some hot stretches, cold stretches. But yeah, 6th seed versus the Lakers, 3rd seed. And then we'll finish maybe a record of 30 games. Let's see, 32, like maybe 54 and 18, maybe. 54 and 18. Was it? No, like 54 and like, was it 28 or something? Like somewhere in that range. So yeah, I think so. We're going to have Lakers versus Clippers, first round matchup, Battle of LA. I think that'll be our thing. Moving forward to our next topic, we're going to talk about Cam Reddish cooking a couple players 1v1. Let me pull up. No, I can't pull my video, but I'll pull up.
Oh, you want me to do it? What account is it on?
I know I do have a download, but I have it on right here.
Okay. Also, real quick,
as a short.
Unfortunately, I am gonna have to change my answer. I don't know. I said 4 or 5 Rockets, but I do want to just let this be known. I am officially changing my answer. I think it's gonna be 3-6 Clippers. I'm riding with Allan. There's been no Lakers Clippers matchup in playoff history, and it does kind of feel like the year it's gonna happen. I think we win the series pretty easily, but I'll be optimistic. What that would do. And Zinzi, bro, that's not even crazy, bro. We're like the 4 seed right now. Like it's 1 seed up or 2 seeds up, whatever it is. If we're the 3 seed and the Grizzlies are 2 and the Thunder are 1, then that means the Nuggets are 4. So let's say they have a worse, post All-Star break than us. What that would do is it would mean that we play the Clippers, Grizzlies. No, I don't agree with you, Zinzi. We would play the Clippers, Grizzlies, and then Thunder. And then so that means we're basically going to the finals. As we know, the Grizzlies aren't a threat. So we'll see the Celtics in June.
But yeah, like I said, I did post a video up above for that. Now, if you haven't checked it out, let me replay it once again. Go. Yeah, I posted as a short. If you want to check it out, the video's right there. But yeah, it's also one here. Cam Reddish leaked out a video of him going 1v1 versus a couple Laker players. A couple of them naming Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, Christian Koloko, D'Angelo Russell, and Gabe Vincent. So I don't know strategically if he leaked that for a reason or if he wanted to prove that he's still a good / capable player, or I don't know, he's not really happy about his role. But Cam Reddish did leak his couple 1v1s from the Lakers, these cameras, and we'll check it out right here. And of course, share our live thoughts about it.
I did not know Cam Reddish was the one who leaked this. That's crazy. I feel like it's going to look blurry on our end, Allan. I'm not going to lie. Earl, I don't know what you see.
Yeah. For me, it looks fine. I don't know what else. I know there's like an auto feature where it could get to 720.
Yeah,
Earl, what does it look like for you?
Yeah, it looks blurry on my end, but personally, I've seen the video, so I know exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, I guess people saw on Twitter anyway.
I'll say this, man. I think it's definitely interesting, but am I surprised? No. Like this, what I'm seeing in these clips is exactly what I describe people what Cam Reddish was like. Every time I talk about a game, I'm like, this is what Cam Reddish did to your favorite player every single night. Like these clips show that he's capable of still doing it, and it's just showing me like it's an in-game confidence thing. It's almost like I mean, I hate to say it's almost like a Bronny thing. Like we talked about Bronny and his mentality when he gets to bigger games, like when he gets to the NBA games. Now, I can say that he's improved on that. I mean, his last couple, garbage time minute games, he's been playing a lot more aggressive. He looks a lot more natural. But the difference between him and Bronny is Cam Reddish has had rotational minutes, but he doesn't do this. Like, even if he has the ball, he has the opportunity to score. He doesn't take shots like that. He doesn't take people off the dribble to the mid-range shot. I know that's not exactly his role. Even when he gets to the cup, we've seen him miss layups at times as well. Like, he's not as efficient. So I think it's like that Bron quote where he talks about, like, yeah, people can go cooking ones, but what happens when you get to like 5v5 basketball? What happens when you're in a game to win a game, 5v5? What happens? And I think that's a prime example of this. Like, Cam Reddish, great isolation player, but translate that to the game. Like, I get it. Maybe he's putting some insurance on in case he gets released. I don't know, but I love it. I love that he's still capable of doing this. I haven't really seen that at this end a lot. So give me something, bro. If you get the chance to get minutes again, show me something. Like, if you have a play, probe us. I mean, Reddish has always, to me, been a great offensive talent. And to me, he was always a better offensive player than defender. So it was crazy when those two roles kind of reversed for him. So, yeah, I mean, if we got this versus Cam Reddish, like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, the bench would be a lot better. Like, I don't want to use the word scary, obviously, because I don't know if he'll take that big of a jump again, but it would be really good for us if you could do that.
I didn't know he put it out. I do think that's interesting. Like, he's trying to prove he could play still, but like, unfortunately, like, everyone in the NBA, whether it's coaches or execs or fans, knows that one-on-one isn't NBA basketball. It's just not. Even if you could one-on-one guys in game, you have to be able to do so many other things. So, like, in the chat, when Hayes Muse says he's been that dude since AAU, like, yeah, you're completely right. And we all did know this. So I feel like this changes nothing. And then also, like, Zinzi in the chat, like, what it shows is 1v1 isn't a game, isn't like the same as in game. I mean, yeah, clearly it's not, because Cam Reddish, like, if the NBA had a one-on-one tournament at All-Star Weekend, which a lot of people want, like, you could argue that Cam Reddish would beat a lot of guys, but we've already known that. And like, this doesn't change for me what he brings to a team. I wish his career turned out better. I guess there's still time. There's kind of not, though, because it's been like, what, 7 years he's been in the NBA or whatever. Like, but I just don't see how this changes anyone's view. Let's say, like, he leaked this. I don't think there's a GM that sees this and thinks anything of it, because it's just not what you look for your team, unfortunately, at this point. KD in the chat, Zinzi said KD would win the 1v1 tournament. Yeah, he would probably beat everyone. I mean, I think Hayes Muse, why do you think his career hasn't turned out better? Probably because he didn't figure out at all time. And we've seen him be good on defense. I'll say that. He hasn't figured out how to put it all together. I think he's the best example of that. Like, when your team needs you to play defense, hit your open threes, pass, dribble, everything, the intangibles and the attitude, he didn't put it all together. And the confidence he once had, I mean, Earl was saying it too, the confidence he once had in high school and even at Duke, like, it doesn't show in the NBA like we thought it would. So yeah, that's probably why.
I feel like I could be wrong, and Earl could very much correct me. I feel like one part of the decision was choosing Duke and ultimately him being a third player on that roster, because obviously number 1 was Zion, number 2 was RJ Barrett, and then 3 was I don't know what was on it. Was it like Tyus Jones was on that roster? Like, when it wasn't Tyus Jones, Trey Jones, excuse me.
Trey Jones, yeah.
Yeah, Trey Jones, yeah. So he was sort of all these messed up toward the pecking list of who was the main facilitator and who was the main guy. So I think that's one of the reasons why. But like you guys mentioned, all around, he hasn't developed past being a scorer. Like I said, we've seen those flashes of a 3 defender, like we saw versus that Clippers game many years, where he is a good defender. But beyond that, he's good. He's not great. He's not a all-around championship player for this roster, you can say. So it's just good player, but not championship material for what we're looking for.
Yeah, he's not necessarily a winning player. I mean, I think he could have been, but like when Cincy says like he should be drafted to be built around, I kind of disagree because like if he was because he got picked by the Hawks, right? And like if he was the second best player after Trae Young on the Hawks, like that would have been great, but you would have never been building around him. So if he had gone to like a team that's like Brooklyn now and you could have built around him or the Wizards or something like that. I mean, it ultimately wouldn't have worked, and he would have had to go be like a third option at best on a winning team anyway, if you were actually trying to get championships, because he didn't become that player that could be a first option. And I don't think drafting him to be a first option would have changed his NBA career enough where he would have actually been a first option.
Honestly, I kind of have a different take on that. Like, the Hawks pick to me, like in the beginning, it didn't make a lot of sense because it was DeAndre Hunter, like first. Like, so for me, like you have two guys, same kind of age range, playing the same exact position. So at that point, it's kind of hard to merge that with a Trae Young. And then on top of that, John Collins is on that team as well. So they already have a lot of wings, a lot of forwards and stuff like that on that team. So he, in general, like he already had a like, and he had pretty decent Hawks games, but I feel like they kind of gave up on him. They chose DeAndre Hunter over him, which I mean, at the time, I guess it made sense, but now they don't have DeAndre Hunter, which is kind of funny as well. So, yeah, I think maybe in a different world, if he went to a different team, things could have been slightly different. But at that point, I mean, he was drafted early on to be like a third, fourth option. So I think that probably shot his confidence down already compared to other guys in that class, like a RJ or Zion, whose teams needed those positions and they got played heavily at those positions as well. So I think that's where the difference came in at. It sucks for him, I agree, but he definitely has had his opportunities, and then injuries, of course. I think that shot down his confidence even more. So I'm always gonna be a Cam Reddish supporter, but I do agree, like as far as this team, unless he just came out there and just played, unless he just came out there and Luka got him right and like forced him and like, hey, I'm gonna hit you right here. You're so open, you gotta take it. And he started hitting those shots and became more confident on offense, and he started playing like that. Then I just don't see where his career trajectory will go, unfortunately. So yeah, it sucks, man. I'm a big Cam Reddish fan. He went to Duke. I'm a Duke fan if you guys didn't know. So it definitely hurts me more than anything to watch him turn into a shell of himself for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I wish he was one of the best players in the NBA because he is so fun with how he plays. Like we'd seen the poster dunks early on in his career, 3-point shooting that he once had. I mean, he was elite. The defense we know can be great, and overall, he like his frame fits like the NBA mold, and kind of the league is. I would say still the most valuable players in the league are like 3-and-D wings, especially who could do it at a high level and score 3 levels. And it's weird that he didn't become that. I guess we don't really know why, but I mean, I wouldn't be against giving him more opportunities on the Lakers personally. I just don't know what he can really be at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And I think like last thing I'll say about the Cam Reddish thing is like at this point it's like, and then adding Goodwin kind of didn't help his case at all, because like Goodwin was a guy like obviously first game was better than his last game, but like he's a guy who's proven like he can grab boards, like he can do the little things, play defense, hustle from that guard position. So he's probably getting those minutes. And if the Lakers do decide to sign him to that contract extension, we all know that that probably means the end of Cam Reddish. But
well, like literally the end, Earl, because Cam Reddish would be way for Jordan Goodwin to get a full roster spot.
Yeah, exactly. And then like just to close that out, it's like I kind of envisioned when Max Christie was gone, I could have seen Cam Reddish like taking that spot, but him getting traded and then brought back off of a trade, all that confusion. Like it's not like Dalton Knecht. Like Dalton Knecht has like he's a first round pick. Like he comes back, things are forgiven, they'll figure it out. But I don't think, obviously we know it's not really the same case for Cam Reddish as far as like team future plans. So we'll see what happens, bro. But good luck to him. Maybe he'll get another opportunity. I hope he gets at least one more chance. That'd be cool to see. As far as rotations, I mean, we'll see what happens though. Shout out to Cam Reddish.
Yeah, and like I mean, who knows what goes on in people's personal lives, but we also got to mention like he's been out for like 3 weeks because his wife gave birth and stuff, which like I do understand, but it kind of like was very not helpful to build his case for being in the rotation because we actually did give him rotation minutes part of this year and last year. And then like for him to like kind of just leave, I mean, you can't really just throw that guy back out into the rotation too. And Jordan Goodwin, is less talented than Cam Reddish at basketball, but when Jordan Goodwin was on the court for us in his first 2 games, he did more than Cam Reddish has done for us in any game, I would say. And I think, yeah, and like to be fair, we played some bad teams. Like it was the Jazz that first game, and I forgot the other one. The Jazz was Goodwin's second game, I mean. But it's like if Goodwin can come in and do way more for you than Reddish was doing, like it's kind of hard to give Reddish a chance when he left for 3 weeks is kind of my point. So if we see him get one more chance, I would love to see him get a chance on a bad team again and kind of be given a bigger role. So maybe that'll happen starting this summer.
Yeah, and as mentioned, a little quick PSA before we go to our tier list. We have at least one of our questions from one of our subscribers from Ree's Muse. He says, "Who's everyone's top 5 basketball players of all time?" His is LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, KD, Steph. I'll just rattle off mine's. Top 5 to my favorite would be Kobe, Carmelo, Braun, MJ, and Magic Johnson.
I interpreted it as he was saying the best, not favorite, because Kobe is my number 1 favorite, but he's not in my top 5 greatest. Mine is LeBron, Jordan, Kareem, Magic. That's 4. And then either like Bird or like Kobe is around there. I'll be honest. Kobe is like around 5th or 6th for me at least, but I grew up in LA. So I could be a little biased, but yeah.
All right. No particular order. LeBron James, that ain't our ball. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, Mr. Jordan. My third. Oh man,
It's
I'd probably
Kareem,
go.
bro. We just didn't.
No, I know. I'm
not to pressure.
I'll go Kareem. I gotta go Magic as well.
Yeah.
It really sounds like a Lakers bias, but I mean it's just a fact. And then I'm gonna throw in a different name, maybe not in everybody's top 5, but I kind of respect this dude a lot, and he doesn't get talked about really enough. I'm gonna say Timmy D. I'm gonna say Tim Duncan.
I just can't put Tim Duncan over Kobe after watching that with my eyeballs. But
True.
But Tim's legacy, a lot of people do put Tim over Kobe, and I think Tim's legacy actually does look a little cleaner than Kobe, to be fair.
Yeah.
But that's where the LA bias comes in because I had the same top 4 as you. I would almost argue that like 8 of the top 10 players of all time are actually Lakers, even aside from the bias, because like Jordan's the only one who's at the top who wasn't a Laker, and then another guy in the top 10 is like Larry Bird wasn't a Laker, obviously.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but the Lakers have a lot of them. The Lakers have a lot of them, dude. By the Lakers getting LeBron, you got LeBron, Magic, Kareem, Kobe, Wilt, Shaq. Am I blanking on any? I don't know, but you get the point. Lakers have a lot of the best players ever.
Yeah, the only person I'll probably switch out would be Carmelo, and you could just put in Shaq. And as mentioned, it's just all-time Lakers.
Oh yeah, then Shaq. 5. Yeah, dang. Yeah,
and also Earl put a tweet. Yeah, from Shams, he put Knicks All-Star Carly Towns. Gabe Vincent has been elected as the NBA Players Association's Board of Reps as vice presidents, and Jalen Brown, of course, is reelected as vice president. So, yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to Gabe. And as mentioned, to be like Reeves Muse, if you aren't a subscriber, subscribe to this channel. It was like $10 or is per time, and you get automatic VIP to watch the later games live with us, and also tonight's All-Star game at 5 p.m/8 p.m. Pacific. Join us for that, and it'll be a great time, and we can enjoy these All-Star games live with you. And I'm going to at least the tier list to end the podcast. We got right here.
I will also say one last thing. Like, a video is circulating around of LeBron at the 2009 All-Star game saying like that he was putting his name in contention for the dunk contest in 2010 and he just didn't do it. But we know about LeCap, bro. Like, we know LeBron is going to say some shit like that.
Oh, can we add to that? Okay, last thing. I know we got the tier list, but
yeah, you're good.
Shout out to Mac McClung, bro. He not only three-peated, which I know there's a lot of reactions about overrated, whatever, bro. He's the only one who's been willing to do it the last 3 years and made it worth even turning on the TV. So I'll give him that. But that's not the point. He literally called upon the Avengers, bro. I was on Twitter, my timeline. First I seen John Morant. Then I seen him say, hey, at Zach LaVine, at Aaron Gordon, what's up? And then I was like, okay, nothing's probably going to come of this. Then you got Giannis quote tuning. He said, Ja, if you do it, then I'll do it. I was like, okay. I mean, what's Giannis really going to do? I don't know. He's a freak athlete, though, whatever. And then I see on my timeline this morning when I wake up that Zach LaVine quoted it. And he said, I'm thinking about it. I might have to. He said something about, like, I'm thinking about something. I might have to come out of retirement, whatever. He said something like that. So everybody shout out to Matt McClung for possibly entering us into one of the best dunk contests next year, hopefully, if all things line up. So I'm excited about that. And three-point contests, like, let's stop being scared. All the three-point shooters, Curry, Clay, all y'all, stop acting so casual. Go out there and play next year. Like, let's just make next year, like, super fun. It's going to be in LA. Just imagine if we get that dunk contest with Zach LaVine, John Morant, Giannis, maybe Aaron Gordon, I don't know, whatever. And the three-point contest, you have like Curry, Dame. You can go ahead and throw Tyler Hero out there again because he won. Who am I missing? Go throw Trae Young out there. Like, just throw all the shooters and stuff like that. All the best shooters or so-called shooters out there, and let's just ball, bro. Let's make it fun again. And that's kind of my pitch. Shout out to Mac, though, for setting that trend.
Yeah, I mean, I very much agree. I just pessimistically think that, like, people could go say that every year, like Ja or LaVine or Giannis, but, like, will they actually do it? I mean, we were just saying that LeBron said he was gonna and then didn't. So, like, I don't know if that's actually gonna happen, but I guess my dream is similar to a lot of other people's, where you get like a Ja, Zion. I want Ja, Zion, Aaron Gordon, and LaVine, but I'll take Ja, Zion, Giannis, and LaVine. Let's say if it follows that trend. And then, like, Earl said this, but the fact that it's in LA, I think would motivate people a little more because you are on one of the biggest, if not the biggest stage. So I would like to see that. And 3-point, it should be the best 3-point shooters in the league. Like, no more of this, like, Cam Johnson shit, like, in the thing. Like, let's just go Hero, Curry, Clay. I would honestly say, like, you probably want people like Knecht who just shoot through. Like, that's kind of their thing. Is they're like a sniper. And just give us, like, the best people at everything. And the skills, go back to just doing, like, 4 players who are actually skilled. Like, I don't need to see the Chris Paul Wemby team, bro. I'm good.
No, facts.
Yeah, and there's the tier list for this week. S, A, B, C, D, injured or limited minutes. Of course, South Bay Lakers, and this is the players list in the bottom. And whoever wants to start, feel free to go.
Not gonna lie, I kind of am very blank on what happened this week, but I do remember. I'm starting with Bronny James because I remember Bronny having 9 points. The reason why I specifically remember that is because Paul George had 2 points that night, and Bronny outscored him by only playing 8 minutes of NBA basketball. So I am putting Bronny James. Slight overreaction. No, wait, what was he last week? Didn't we have him rated like at a B last week, right?
Yeah, I think it was
it
B.
G League? Dog. Okay. I'm down to either just keep him at B. I'll just say keep him B, consistent. He hasn't done anything worse, arguably better. I don't know if we're pushing the narrative of A yet. So I'm cool with keeping him at B.
Bronny is not going to be A until he makes a rotation on an NBA team. I'll say that. B is basically like S for Bronny. I'm going to go B. He's doing his job. And again, like to reiterate this, Bronny compared to what he's supposed to be, like he's at least at B right now. Oh, yeah, 2 quick things in the chat. Well, LeBron at his media availability finally now, he said there's no part of him that regrets not doing the dunk contest. I guess he just didn't want to do it. Anthony Davis's prank show Foul Play with Anthony Davis premieres tonight on TBS right after the All-Star game. So I guess they're going to try to get some of the views from people leaving their TV on. But yeah, B for Bronny. I mean, I'll go next. Vanderbilt, C. I just don't understand what he was doing or what his role was recently. I mean, maybe there were injuries. I don't know if you guys agree. I just like he didn't do anything to me.
Yep. And go Alex Len, D.
I kind of have breaking news too, guys. I don't think Bron's playing tonight. If I'm not mistaken. I seen Trevor Landry.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
is Bron not playing tonight? I just saw that.
Yeah,
that's really bad.
Foot/ankle discomfort. Oh man, that's actually. Oh man. Yeah, that's tough.
Let's kill the ratings before the game starts, right? That's all that.
That's actually probably the worst thing that could happen. Well, rip my Bron graphic I was gonna post today, but. No, but yeah, Bron is not playing tonight, chat, just to put it out there. So get ready for everybody to overreact. So we ball. Who was the player you said, by the way?
I said Alex Len.
Alex Len. D. You said D. Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Yeah, D. There's no tier worse than that. I'll go D. He just wasn't good. Yeah. Next up, I guess I'll go with DFS didn't play, right? 2 games or 1 game?
I don't even know, bro. He didn't do anything this week. He's good. I'll just give him C because sorry, I shouldn't even take your spot. Just for me.
No,
C.
I agree. Because I don't really remember anything memorable. So I'm gonna go C as well. And that's probably maybe the same for no. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, I'm going C. Sorry.
No, it's my fault, but I very much agree. And I also view like if it's C for DFS and Vando, I feel like that's fair because like they didn't do anything wrong per se, but they didn't do anything good.
Yeah, I agree.
Play, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, that sucks. LeBron's not playing. I can't believe that just came up.
Yeah, that kind of killed the mood, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was so excited. I mean.
Now Dalton.
I mean, why did he?
Becomes irrelevant.
Why did he come then to the game?
He just ruined it for Dalton Knecht.
Like, what was the point of like? I'm sorry, my bad. I'm just like, what was
the Lakers? The Lakers have no All Stars playing all of a sudden with Luka's injuries and with LeBron. Okay, there will not be. I mean, Dalton Knecht, I guess, is the Lakers All Star this year.
But it's just like, yeah, I don't know, bro. Then what was the point of like taking that long trip, the nice daps in the hallway to the presser? Kind of whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Who was next?
Oh, is it Allan?
I think so.
Go ahead, Allan. I'll go after.
We're going Dalton Knecht, bottom of C.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
We'll keep it short tonight, but like it's not like it was an amazing week for the Lakers. Like we're not going to overhype everyone at A or anything like that. But speaking of like A, I mean Austin Reeves is an A Laker. I think he had like a bad game in there too. I'm not gonna lie, but the first game against the Jazz, like I don't know. I think Reeves is still very much an A Laker with kind of this weird week in the All-Star break.
Yeah, and like just like quickly speak on that, I think him and Lucas still are trying to learn how to play off each other when in the game at the same time. So I think that's where some of the problems are coming in. Which it won't be like that like all the time. I think it's mostly chemistry. So I'll go A too. Gabe Vincent was hurt, right? Or he played that last. Dang, this week's been so long. I forget what games he played.
I forget what everyone did this week.
Yeah, me too. I'm having a blank because I know our last game we lost because we played. Oh, that's why we played the Jazz twice. That's why I'm kind of blanking out. We really ended on 2 Jazz games to All-Star Weekend. Is crazy.
Gabe was great. He was like an A in the first Jazz game, I want to say though. So yeah, I have an idea, but you go.
Oh yeah, you're right because we were talking about in the chat like this is why Dalton should be. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I'm not Dalton. Gabe. Yeah, I'm probably going A with Reeves. I think he played well. Second game, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he played second game. If I'm not, yeah, because we were complaining about him and DFS being out, right? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you know what also is so funny? If LeBron said he wasn't going to play like 2 days ago, there would have been an all-star replacement, but he didn't. So now no one else is going to make the all-star game. Like who was it? Sabonis or Fox or whoever it was. I don't know.
They're probably, and you know what? Funny enough, Sabonis replacement actually would have helped this team out because they legit don't have a center.
Yeah. Now we could see like it's even kind of more of a case of the Rising Stars team could actually beat the like OGs team now without LeBron. Like they still very much needed LeBron because he shows out in these types of games. So like even though he's old, he would have helped them a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. Back to topic because I was distracting. I have Gabe in B. So if I don't know if Allan has him in A or B.
I just put him A. We always talk about S tier, Gabe Vincent, and I think you can sort of demote them to A just because he's been pretty good in his role. You know,
yeah, I was only saying that because of the injury, so I guess that's not fair. Okay, so yeah, Allan, go ahead.
Jordan Goodwin, I think B with Bronny.
Yeah, ahead of Bronny.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, we can go ahead and rate that.
Good Jordan Goodwin week. Good week for Goodwin. Who else do we have? Rui's been pretty good. He gets a lot of hate from the fans and people kind of treat him like a trade chip. I feel like it would be a good time. I need to like look up his stats, I guess.
No, you're cooking. Go ahead.
Like
you're actually cooking.
Yeah, his stats have been like really good for a minute,
he had a great
especially
week.
the last week. Like Rui's an A this week. I mean, for me, he's above Vincent because I know Rui doesn't play defense, but Gabe was injured for that game, to be fair.
Yep. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with. Oh man, who do I take here? You know what? I'm taking Shake and Bake. I'm gonna put him at D. I don't remember him doing anything crazy. Well, actually, this week I want to make it very clear on how bad Alex Len was. So I'm gonna put Shake at the bottom of C.
Yeah, I agree. It's not even like he did, but Shake didn't even do anything wrong. But like I think he's worse than Knecht. Like he's kind of right there.
Exactly, because at least Knecht, I think he gave us like 3 threes, which was cool considering he just first came back. So yeah. All right, big 2 with y'all.
Don't pick Luka, Allan.
I'm gonna go JJ Redick.
Wow.
I'll go with JJ Redick, and I'll go with B for JJ Redick. Top of B.
Okay. I thought you said D at first.
Yeah, me too. But JJ kind of, it was like a bad coached game against the Jazz the second time. Like I felt a little annoyed at JJ, but I think top of B is fair. There's no way he's worse for the team than Bronny or Goodwin. But I asked Allan not to say Luka because, okay, so Luka played for the Lakers, right? how many games did he play? Just 2, right? Jazz.
Yep.
Luka is in the injured because he played, but we can't rate Luka on a heavy minutes restriction, potential conditioning issues that could be resolved even post All-Star break. Like, Luka has to be injured because we haven't actually seen Luka yet. Like, we got glimpses at Luka, but we have no idea what he is to this team. So I would say injured personally, even though he played.
I'm cool. Whatever y'all want to run with, like, that's fine with me.
I'm not gonna put Luka in C for being on a minutes restriction and barely doing anything. That's kind of where I'm at.
We could do a Luka tier, but where would it be? Would it
I don't know.
BC?
I think we can do a Luka tier like later when we kind of figure out what he is, but I just genuinely don't think we know what he is. I would put him in injured. But also, like, Markieff Morris isn't an injured. I don't know if he is right now, right? We should probably take him out.
Oh, this is injured or limited minutes.
For that one, I just put together like injured / limited minutes just because.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, just because like I think that if we were to put like Markieff Morris, he would be like D, more or less, because he doesn't do much. But obviously, Alex Slayton would be the epitome of D right now.
Yeah, Earl said this, but Alex Len should be the only one in D. And yeah, I didn't see the limited minutes. My bad. I see it now that our cameras were blocking it. So I'm with you guys. So Earl, go ahead with LeBron.
My sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. LeBron James. This week we played we played 2 games versus the Jazz. LeBron had 18, 7, and 6. That last game that we lost, and the game before that, he had 24, 8, and 7. So I'm going to go A tier. I don't think anybody was S this week. I think Brown was S last week. I don't think he did anything like supernatural Braun to me. So I would either go A or like top of B. But the problem with that is I still think he played better than Austin Reeves, Rui, and Gabe. So I have to put him A above all those guys.
Yeah, I have him A, the top of A, so I'm right with you.
Yeah, like, it's not a Brown week for sure, but like coming off of last week being an S, I'm okay with moving him down 1 tier, considering we split the week. And like that second game, I know we get a lot of flack for that game. Not to make excuses, but like we did have Gabe and DFS out, like 2 of our main defenders, and Gabe being like that scorer option off the bench as of recently. We lost that production, so yeah, that's the same reason JJ's at B and not like D or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And what he is to the Lakers, like top of A, he's definitely leading the charge still, especially until like Luka integrates, but no one was S this week. So like I feel pretty good about this tier list here.
Yeah. Same.
That's it. What you got, Allan?
Yeah, so that's our tier list for this week. I did post a link for the All-Star game, as mentioned. That will be at least an hour from now. We'll be live for that. As always, thank you all for joining. Shout out to Reeves Muse, Zinzi, where is it? Queros? I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but shout out to Q. Shout out to Q. Yeah. Shout out to DB, and shout out to everyone else who was in the chat. Thank you as always, and have a great rest of your day. Let's go Lakers. Peace, everybody.
See you guys. Thank you.
Peace.